All right. Hey, Dale. Can you hear me?
I sure can.
All right. Awesome. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you calling in from today?
I am from the Atlanta, Georgia area. I live in a little town north of the city called Lilburn.
Okay. That sounds pretty nice. And what kind of real estate stuff are you doing down there in Wilburn?
So I do a whole lot of wholesaling and some fix and flips.
Okay. Very cool. And how long have you been doing the wholesaling and the fix and flips?
Just over a year. Started last year, April.
Wow. Okay. Cool. And walk us through like what actually kind of led you to get into that?
I've always wanted to get into real estate and had an opportunity to learn. I'm not sure if you've heard of the Fortune Builder system,
I have.
but I signed up for the Fortune Builder training about just under 3 years ago, and did a lot of learning. The first year got caught in the paralysis by analysis trap, and decided that this is what I wanted to do. So last year, March, I decided to turn in my notice at a very good job that I had, and decided I was going to do this full time. It's sort of like burning the bridges. I was like, I'm going to sink or swim. So I had to just make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And so what was doing that first deal like?
Man, it was nerve-wracking. My first deal was not an easy deal at all. Actually, had an owner who was selling a property that they had a tenant in. They weren't very good tenants, and once we got under contract and we started trying to get them out of the house, they were refusing to leave, and so we ended up doing a cash for keys agreement with them, which ended ultimately worked out, but I learned a lot on that deal.
I see. Okay, cool. I mean, that's kind of the best way to do the first deal, right? I feel like people dream about the $50,000 checks, and I'm not sure how much you made on that one, but I mean, as long as you get like $5,000 or as long as you get some money, I mean, the learning is the most important part, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, our total profit on that one was $27,500. So it was not a bad haul at all.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. Holy cow. That's great. Well, cool. And what did you feel like, or did you feel like after you did that first deal, like something had changed for you?
It did, because I realized that the key to succeeding in this business was persistence. Whenever you're faced with challenges, and you're faced with problems, you've got to come up with solutions, and you've got to persevere till the deal gets done, because they're not always going to be easy, and that was the lesson I learned on that first deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally get that. And then what did it look like for you from there, actually? Did you do your second deal right away, or what did you do next?
Yeah, so I closed my second deal shortly after that first deal, and that deal was actually a fix and flip, and that was awesome. I realized that probably is my true calling, fixing and flipping. I get such joy out of doing it, and so it was an easy fix and flip. We actually bought the property for $130,000. We put about $15,000 into it, and then turned around and sold that one for $203,000. And we sold it literally before we actually finished the rehab. The first day we started doing demo on the property, and it wasn't a whole lot of demo because it was a small rehab. Someone drove up. They were a cash buyer and offered us cash for the property even before they saw the finished product. So that one went a whole lot smoother than the first deal. It was like, wow, I couldn't believe that someone would just kind of, without seeing the finished product, go, you know what, I want this house when you're done, and I'm willing to pay cash.
That's amazing. I love that story. And I do agree with you too. I've done a couple renovations myself, and they take a little bit longer, but it's such an awesome thing to, pick out the stuff, bring something back to life, and then have somebody pay you a lot of money because they love what you created.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, how has DealMachine kind of worked into your business so far?
So I came across DealMachine. I went to a networking event, and there was a real estate investor. She had been in the business for a long time, and she was talking about the driving for dollars. How do you do that? What's the skill in doing it? What should you be doing? And then she started talking about apps that you can use while driving for dollars.
Yeah.
And so I started experimenting with some other apps, and needless to say, I was going down a list of trying different apps because I heard her talking about it. And when I came across DealMachine, it was like a match made in heaven. It was like, oh, this is what I need. And I canceled all the other ones, and I've been with DealMachine ever since. It's the fact that I could take a picture. It was able to intuitively determine where I was, so that it was easy for me to add the address. And then when I found out about the skip tracing feature, oh man, I was in heaven. I was in hog heaven. I felt like I had died and all of my dreams had come true.
That's awesome. I'm really glad to hear that you've really enjoyed using DealMachine, and you like the ability to put the picture on there. It's really personal and can really make you stand out.
Oh yeah.
What's about? Tell me about any deals that you did with DealMachine. Have you done a deal yet?
Oh yeah, I've done a few. The most recent one actually, I did within the last month. We found a deal in what's called East Atlanta Village, which is like an amazingly hot area part of town here in the Atlanta area, and bought that property. Actually ended up closing on the property and purchasing it, and then turned around, listed it on the MLS, and then sold it as is within 30 days. So that was a great find right there. And we actually found that one. Well, I could tell you my strategy in terms of how I use DealMachine is we have drivers that are driving for us, and one of our drivers actually took a picture of that house, sent it in. We were able to call the owner, connect with him, negotiate with him, purchase the property, and then ended up selling it. Actually, closed on it in terms of the sale on Wednesday, so 2 days ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. So how much did you end up making on that deal?
we ended up netting just over $12,000 on that deal.
That's great. And it was a wholesale deal that you ended up selling on the market. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yeah, it was a wholesale deal. So we ended up closing on it because the owner wanted a quick close, and so we ended up just closing on it and then just turning it around and listing it.
Gotcha. Very cool. And how many other deals have you done with DealMachine?
So I've done 2 other deals with DealMachine. The other one is actually before, when I first started using the app, was driving around the city of Lilburn, was taking pictures and calling homeowners, and found someone who said, I'm thinking about selling that property next year, and ended up making a really good connection with her and purchasing her, ended up double closing on that one, but able to just make that one happen. And then another one was actually a lot that someone took a picture of, ended up contacting the owner on that one, and we're actually going to build on that lot. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Wow,
Yeah.
I love it. And tell me about these drivers that you've hired. That's actually really smart.
Yeah. So what I decided to do was actually talking to my mentor. They started saying, well, what you want to do is, the beauty of starting your own business is the ability to leverage not only other people's money, but also leverage other people's time. And so I ended up calling into your offices, ended up talking with Josh, who went through with me his strategy. And I sort of tweaked his strategy just a little bit. So instead of paying for every deal that I got, I pay for every lead that I get. So I placed an ad on Craigslist, said, if you want a part-time gig where if you see a vacant property and you take a picture, I'll pay you $2 for every picture that you take using this app. And it's amazing. I think we're up to over 80 drivers who are driving for us. Not all of them are as active as we'd like them to be, but
yeah.
But it does keep the leads coming in, flowing in on a regular basis.
Wow, that's great. So since you talked to Josh, then you did that deal finder strategy and you onboarded 80 people.
Yeah, well, he made a suggestion on how he would recommend that I do it, and but once I started talking with my business partner, we just kind of came up with a model that we thought would work well for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's really smart because we see a lot of businesses, and then exactly what works best and have your own preferences.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'd love to put together a case study from what you've done so far. Would it be okay if I followed up with you afterwards to get a headshot of you or maybe your business logo, and then also just ask for the the addresses of the deals you've done so far, and include that in the case study?
Oh, not a problem at all.
Cool. Very cool. Do you have anything else that you, I guess, really liked or would like to see in the future?
So I think I'm not sure about who you guys are using for the skip tracing feature, but that's something that I'd like to see improved somewhat, because what I'm having to do is to add a second step in sending out a lot of the properties that people are taking pictures of and sending them out to a skip tracing company. So that's something that, yeah, if that's something that we can improve upon, that would be awesome.
Okay. Just curious, what's the accuracy that you're seeing in Atlanta with the service that we provide?
So it's, to be honest with you, it's very low in terms of the percentage. I would say probably 1 in every 10 is correct.
Do you mean?
Called
Do you mean?
I've called numbers that were literally had the same name as the owner, and the
Mhm.
person was in a different state, and they were like, "I don't own a property in Atlanta," you know. So
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Gotcha. Well, whenever you are looking at the skip tracing, are you calling? Is it 1 in every 10 numbers is correct, or is it like 1 in every 10 properties will have a correct number in it?
I would say 1 in every 10 properties would have a correct number in it.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
quite a bit lower than what I've experienced as well. So I'm curious why that is. But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
data is something that we're always wanting to constantly improve. So
Yeah.
we are always looking for ways to improve that. So I mean, just earlier this year, on the county record side, we actually bumped it up from like 93% accuracy to like 96. So I think, yeah, it would be great to do that on the skip tracing too.
Yeah. No, the information in terms of the owner is correct most of the time. Like I've seen that like at a 95, 98 percentile accuracy rate. In terms of who the owner is, it's just that the information on the actual owner may not be correct. But and the only other thing that I'd like to see us do is if we had an ability to communicate with the people on our team through the app, I think that would be an awesome thing.
Oh, okay. Actually, are you aware of how to communicate with them in the notes using the app mention feature?
Yeah, but they don't always check the notes.
Yeah.
So, if there's a way that like it could pop up as a notification, I think that would be awesome.
Cool. Yeah, or maybe just like actually it should do a notification. I'll double check on that. But
Okay.
also maybe we put it in like a chat view so that you could just see like any conversations right there easily.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I just wanted to let you know that I host a meetup group here in the Atlanta area that's a part of the South Atlanta RIA.
Okay.
And every chance I get, I push DealMachine, and I tell, because I have a lot of new investors, people trying to get into the business who may have an issue finding their first deal. And what I've been doing is saying to them, hey, have you heard of DealMachine? And going over with them strategies using the app on how they can get their first deal. So
that's fantastic. I could definitely set you up with the affiliate program if you'd be interested.
I would definitely be interested because I know for a fact I've had at least 7 people who are using the app on a regular basis based on my recommendation. So
yeah. Well, actually, so the affiliate program, it just needs a promo code from you, and then we'll give you a code and a special link. So people can download the app and put in your code, or they can just follow your link, and then you'll be able to see who signed up with your code and actually receive 25% of the monthly fees. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, so we would just need whatever code you want to pick, and then I would need you to send me the PayPal email address that you use, because that's how we end up sending the payments to you.
Okay, awesome. I will send that to you. I think I have your email, so I'll just send that to you.
Yeah, please just send that over, and I'll get it set up for you.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thanks again, Dale, and I'm really excited to hear that you've enjoyed using the app and you've had a lot of success with it already. I can't wait to hear what comes next. I mean, you've got 80 drivers. That is a lot of drivers.
Yeah. And we're looking to get more. So, keep deal flow is the name of the game right now.
Yeah, I totally get that. Just curious, how many properties do you have in your account right now?
400 plus.
Wow. Okay. So you've already got 3 deals from that. That's great. And how are you recruiting those deal finders? I was also curious about that.
I'm actually using Craigslist. So
Okay.
what I do is I've created a job posting that I send out, and I describe in detail what they'll be doing, how much they'll be paid, and I post it in specific areas that we're targeting in the Atlanta area. So I've targeted in the in-town neighborhoods. I live in Gwinnett County, so I've actually posted one in Gwinnett County, and my plan is to target more areas that I'd like to have drivers driving in. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, that's been my
Very
strategy.
good.
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, thanks again so much for the call, and I can't wait to put this case study together. I think it's going to be really cool to share, and then I'll just set up your promo code too as soon as I get that from you.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much, man.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Dale. Talk to you later.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.